Hey guys, my name is Drew Pizzulo, and I'm here tonight to do a sequel to my viral video on how to cure an inner ear infection. Some of you guys may know me from the watch show It's About Time with my colleague Jared, so welcome aboard if you do, and welcome aboard if you don't know me. Again, check out my original video that I posted that did go viral, which now has over 159,000 hits on it, on how to cure an inner ear infection and the things you will need if you do get one. The reason I'm doing this video is because I just recently, after 5 years, had a bad ear infection, and I kept it at bay, but there were even things that I learned over this past month on how to perfect it, and this way it doesn't happen like it did again. What happened was this year in 2018, there's a nasty head cold virus that is going around. Everybody seems to have it, and from my experience, it's actually been affecting the men a lot more than the women. And because all my male friends have had it, and virtually none of my female friends have had it, and my wife, who was with me during this whole experience, got it very minimally. So this was a very weird strain, but it did hit all the guys very hard. And based on your anatomy, it can hit you in different places. My friend Jared got it a lot with a fever, and he got it with problems in his throat, and the congestion was up in his head. Me, it will always go right into your ears. And there's a couple of things that I do want to discuss tonight on basically how to treat an ear infection. And let's get into that in one moment. So we're back. Okay, now, as I said in the first video, let's get to the nitty-gritty of it. When you have an ear infection, usually it will go up right through your nose. That is the first place a head cold will enter the body. Okay, so there is a new thing out this day and age. I don't know if anybody has ever heard of it, but I'm going to introduce it to the world if not. Good advertising for them. I am pretty new to this as well, but here you go. It's a thing called COPPERZAP, okay? And it is a device that does claim to stop head colds before they start. So it's very interesting. It is made of copper. It is a device that does look like this. And how you're supposed to do it, based on the directions, is you do insert this, like this, into the nose, like so. And as it rubs against your nose, copper is proven, it's been used by the Egyptians, as well as many other countries throughout history, as antimicrobial properties that do stop head colds in its tracks. This retails for about $69.99. You can go to COPPERZAP.com and try it out. It is something I am trying as well to see if it does have merit. So stay tuned. I'll post a updated video to give you the results of this, but this is the hottest thing on the market. Thousands of people have said it does work, and when you feel a head cold coming on, you're supposed to rub it in your nose like I just did, and it's supposed to stop the head cold in its tracks before it even gets to your ears. So if you don't have a COPPERZAP or copper in general, and it does go to your ears, here is what you have to do. Let's go through this once again. I was recently in Bermuda and I had an ear infection, and I did not have enough medication with me to cure the ear infection. It kept it at bay. And there was a couple of things I did learn. The first thing that I said in the last video that a lot of people picked up upon was the fact that you always need to lead with an antibiotic. And the most common antibiotic you would lead with is amoxicillin. That is true. That is still true. However, here's the problem. After a certain period of time, especially over years, your body does get used to amoxicillin. Therefore, you have to keep ahead of the viruses that are coming out these days, so you have to keep switching it up. Okay, so whether it's amoxicillin or augmentin, a new one to try, and it's even stronger that my doctor had recommended, is cefluroxime. It's CEFUROXIME. Okay, that's what it looks like right there. And it's 500 milligram tablets as well. It is stronger. It does take care of more infections and viruses than amoxicillin does. So you would have to ask your doctor, give me a different antibiotic if you find that amoxicillin doesn't do the trick as well as it used to, because every time you use it, it'll work a little bit less. And after a while, it won't prevent the infection. So you want to make sure you keep switching it up so your body doesn't get used to the same antibiotic. Okay? The second thing, because that will keep it from getting infected, and it did in Bermuda, it did not get infected, but it didn't cure the problem as well as I wanted it to. And part of the reason why is because I didn't have enough of the oral steroid. Like I said, there are two types of steroids in my first video that you can take. One is by injection. They usually do it in the butt, and that's of Decadron. Decadron, there's a short-acting Decadron and a long-acting Decadron. If your doctor most likely will give you a mix of both, that is the easiest way. This way it gives you short-term and long-term relief. If not, then you would have to go with the oral steroid, which the most common oral steroid that you can get is prednisone. Again, it has to be prescribed through a prescription through a doctor, and I would recommend they do come in 5 milligram tablets and 10 milligram tablets. Here's how you use prednisone. I didn't really get into full explanation in the first video about this, but I'm going to do it now. You want to start off hard with prednisone, so which means a maximum of 6 tablets a day, which is 60 milligrams. But you want to do it in shots of 3. Okay, so you want to take 3 in the morning at once and 3 at night. And the reason is if you do not take enough prednisone, it will not give you enough relief. It will not bust out the congestion when it gets to your ears because, as I talked about in the first episode, when you have an inner ear infection, it's like you have a traffic jam in your ear, and every time you try to pop it, you're trying to release that liquid to go down back through your eustachian tubes. It's not going to stay open unless you take enough prednisone to make it stay open. If you only take 1 or 2 tablets, it's not going to be enough. It's not strong enough. And you can't take it 1 tablet every 3 hours or something like that. It's not going to give it enough power. You have to take at least 30 milligrams in the morning and 30 milligrams at night. Now that's just to start it off. And you would want to do this 6, 6, 5, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, and so on as the head cold diminishes through your system. So you do want to do it in increments of that. That is the most effective way to do it, and that is the most proven way based on how prednisone works with it being an oral steroid. So we got the first 2 out of the way. Okay. The next thing I want to talk about is nose sprays. Okay, as we know, Afrin is a great emergency nose spray to take. Do not take it unless you absolutely have to. If you have a head cold and you found that your ears from a 1 to 10 are becoming anywhere over a 7, then I would take the Afrin because it does get that congestion out temporarily. The bad part about Afrin, as we all know, if you take it over 3 days, it's going to have a rebound effect, and it makes it even worse. Okay, the more common things to take are nose sprays such as Veramist, Flonase, Beckinase. These are all prescription medications you can't find over the counter, so your doctor does have to prescribe this to you. And please do it on a health plan. I just got like literally screwed on the cruise because they don't take insurance, and I ran out of Beckinase. And if you wanted to get Beckinase, ended up costing me $314. I was desperate. I had to do it anyway because the head cold was getting to that extreme point. So it will cost you a lot of money, but please make sure you do have nose spray on hand and you have plenty of it, especially if you're going on vacation, because you do need to keep the nasal passages clear so the fluid can drain down through the Eustachian tubes. SUDAFED, vital, have to have it. It's one of these, again, it's over the counter, it has to be signed for behind the counter. So you can't get this over the counter, you do have to sign for it. I think you can have up to 2 of these a month. I recommend the 24-hour tablets. There are 10 that come per box. It'll last you 20 days. I'm not sure if you need 2 or 3. You can't have too many, the government says, because they're afraid of people making meth out of it. Not my thing, but okay. This is vital as well. This is your decongestant. This does open up the nasal passages and the Eustachian tubes and keeps them open. And it works very well with the prednisone to be a nice 1-2 punch. You do definitely need SUDAFED as well. And of course, let's not forget the holistic aspect of this. You have to have sauerkraut and garlic. Guys, remember when you have a head cold, you do have to keep eating. If you keep eating, you will eventually flush it out. You always want to drink plenty of water. That is the number one thing you had to drink, because that's the only thing that your body will respond to. It will not respond to juice, it will not respond to anything else. It will start clogging up your ears. Trust me, I was just through this again. And I literally tried everything on the cruise, and the only thing that would consistently work and thin out the mucus is water. It's the only thing that really keeps you stable and sane throughout this whole process. Okay, so you have to have water, and the best organic thing to have is garlic. Again, garlic is one of those herbs, it's like a magic herb. It's an irritant, it clears out your entire system, and it will flush out everything is what you need it to do, and it does act as a natural antibiotic, as I said in the first video. So you do want to have minced garlic. This is minced garlic in water. Take 2 teaspoons of this literally every morning when you get up. Wait 20 minutes, just take it with water and wait 20 minutes, and then you can eat anything you want. You gotta let it go through your system. This way it can work its way through and do what it has to do, and then it will sit in the bottom of your stomach and be a natural antibiotic as well to prevent further infections and bacteria. And of course, sauerkraut, when we talk about probiotics, you have to have sauerkraut in your system. The fermentation of sauerkraut, again, as I mentioned in the first video, will help you in the long run, because sauerkraut, due to its fermentation process, has a lot of benefits to it that will help you. Again, I think 2 forkfuls of sauerkraut per day is like taking literally like 100 capsules of regular probiotics. It has just as much good bacteria that will keep your body healthy in the long run. So you're going to want that as well. So with all these things, again, if you want to take Mucinex, Mucinex D, remember Mucinex D is Mucinex and SUDAFED together. You would have to sign for it. If not, just take regular Mucinex. That should help you get the mucus out as well. Thanks for joining me today, guys, and I will further update the COPPERZAP for you, and hopefully this helps cure your inner ear infection. Have a great night, and we'll see you next time.